Welcome to full body stretch. All you'll need today is a couple of blankets, something to sit on. Okay, so let's prop up. We're going to come into Sukhasana, some kind of an easy seat. Sukha means sweet or easy. So we really want this seat to be comfortable. You want to be able to release your hips, your legs. Typically, we say if the knees are way up here, the seat needs to be lifted so that the knees and thighs can release out and down. Okay, so find a little perch for yourself, and you might even fluff your feathers a little bit. Make sure your base feels good and wide and supported. Let's cross a little bit more at mid-shin rather than at ankles. Just see how that feels for your legs. All right, once you feel a little more connected through your lower body and those points of contact to the ground, then let your attention come to your spine. And if it doesn't feel already this way, can you imagine a bit of an uplift, like a spontaneous ba-boing, a lifting up inside of your spine? And your shoulders can be released, your arms relaxed, but the inside of the spine is bright and lifted. Soft across your face. The eyelids could lower, they could even close if that feels good. Breathing in and out naturally through your nose. We'll start here by just doing a few shoulder rolls. You can let the arms hang now. Really simple and super sloppy. Like there's no technique for shoulder rolls. So your whole body could participate, change direction. I like to think of these as massaging the heart, shoulders massaging the lungs, massaging the heart in the middle. And then take your arms out to the sides. And one palm goes down and back. The other palm goes forward and up. Okay, and then we're going to switch, alternating, the arms doing opposite things, kind of like wringing out a wash rag. So that's the general movement, but then you could really like let it get loose, maybe even let the elbows bend, let your body sway side to side a little. Breathing through your nose and feeling like this isn't just happening at the arm, or it's not just stopping at the arm. Like you could really feel a turning again into the lung, and how the arms are somehow even connected to each other. So another time or two there. And then coming back, palms up. Now turn the palms down. Now flex your wrists so you're reaching out through the heels of the hands. Soften your elbows a little. And now press like you're stretching your room wider. You're pressing out into walls. And maybe you're getting a little zing through the hands, up the forearms, maybe even up into the shoulders. So you could always soften the elbows a little bit. That'll make it a little less intense. You could also bring your arms slightly more forward rather than out to the sides. So we're going to spend a couple of breaths here. This is a really great way to release your fascia. Those tense, zingy spots can be the wrapping around the muscles, just getting a little rigid. So another exhale, the shoulders are low and wide. And then turn the palms back up and reach the arms high. Interlace your fingers and then turn your palms up and press toward the ceiling. Ooh, little side to side here. Kind of like you're trying to wiggle up out of your hips, out of your waist. And then circle the wrists as the arms release back down. Okay, change the cross of your legs. I know it can feel awkward. but we want to make it less awkward. And the more we do it, the less awkward it will be. All right. Now, let's press the arms forward. And then turn the palms toward each other. Pull the elbows back. Lean a little forward here from your hip creases, keeping a long spine. Palms are facing each other or facing the sides of the body. Pull those elbows back, back, back. And now again, send the arms forward. Turn your palms out and press. Again, that feeling of pressing a wall forward. And then turn the palms in. Lean forward, pull the elbows back. Feel your back working a little bit here. And then again, arms come forward, press. And last time, pull the elbows back, lean a little forward, and squeeze. Imagine you could squeeze your elbows together back there. Now straighten your arms back there. And imagine a ball between your hands, and you're going to press, press, squeeze the ball. Press, 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 and then release. Come back up tall. Shake your arms out, roll your shoulders a little bit. All right. One more thing here with the arms. Up. Interlace your fingers. This time, we're going to take the hands behind the head. Now, just notice if you maybe moved your head forward to do that. Then let's take the head back on the body, on top of the spine. Turn your elbows to point forward. And now round your spine forward just ever so slightly, not like a big cat back, just a little bit. Tuck your chin to lengthen the back of your neck. And now begin to gradually press your head into your hands. Resist a little bit with your hands. We want to really strengthen the back of the neck here. So press a little more, back of head into hands, and slowly let that bring the head back up. And we're going to keep those front ribs quiet, so you're not going to come into like a back bend here. We just want to come to neutral spine, front ribs low. Back of head moving into hands with that little bit of chin tuck. Couple more breaths. So you're not overdoing this effort, but we do want to feel the back body. See if you can feel your neck all the way down your spine. Okay, one more exhale. Now, can you keep your head here as you gradually release that contact of hands to head, and then bring the arms down. And this maybe feels a little awkward. Just have another breath here, and then start to float the head a little bit. You can kind of wobble and see if you can keep the length, particularly the connection through the back of the neck, and turn a little to one side. And then back to center, turn a little to the other side. And back to center, and then ear over shoulder. Back up to center, other ear over shoulder. And back up to center. Okay, so keeping this connected feeling through the neck. Let's take that with us all day. You're going to come off of your props, whatever you're sitting on. You can just scooch it behind you. And then we'll swing both legs off to one side. And we'll start in a little kind of diva seat, the little diva on top of the piano singer. So legs are tucked back. You're resting on one arm. Stay lifted off of that shoulder. Other arm comes up and just moves around, just all around, waving around. Big stretches anywhere that feels good. Anywhere. You can explore with this arm and feel the stretch down your side, across your back, into the shoulders, even into the hips. Okay, now we're going to come down to the forearm. Still lifting off of the shoulder. Same thing, arm comes up. Now you can add your top leg going straight to the end of your mat, maybe even going a little bit back. Oh, and reach this top arm overhead. Maybe turn your chest down and reach in a diagonal from that leg. Oh, like you're on the taffy machine, finding all kinds of secret space. You're going to be taller when we're done. Breathing through your nose, exploring with movement. All right, and then gather this leg, bend the knee, and put the foot on the floor. Okay, so bottom leg stays where it was. Now that leg that was long is knee up, foot on the floor, and take that free hand and put it on your knee or your thigh, wherever it reaches. Keep lifting off of this bottom shoulder. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. So I'm going to call this Burt Reynolds pose. This is Burt Reynolds. And we want to keep the pelvis up, so not rocking the pelvis back. This leg stays heavy, but see if you can open this lifted knee back. We're looking for a little bit of an inner thigh stretch there. And you can also press that leg away with this hand on the knee. Couple of breaths, comfortable in the neck. And then let's lower that top knee. Take your bottom leg a little more toward your upper body and turn your chest and arms toward the floor. Come down to both forearms. So this is obviously quite a twist for your spine. You can rock a little bit here, sway side to side, see how that feels. And if you feel like this would be more comfortable with your legs some other way, you can move them around. They could be stacked, they can be any degree of bend at the hips. I'm thinking right now the bottom leg is about a 90-degree from your torso, but it could be more or less. We'll be here for a few more moments. You have the option to come down, widening your forearms and making a pillow for your head with stacked hands. So it's just a little different. You might actually find it easier in the twist. Again, any little bit of rocking. If your low back is speaking up, you could just hoist your organs a little bit, your abdominal organs into your low back, fill it out, give it some support. Keep your shoulders broad. And then if you're down, come back up to forearms. And maybe even coming up, still in the twist, come up to hands. So feeling a little bit more on your underside waist, perhaps. Okay, and then keep walking up as you turn forward. Ooh, little counter twist there might feel good. Any wiggles? And then roll back onto your seat, feet to the floor. We're going to pause here. You can either wrap around the fronts of the shins or behind the backs of the legs. And we're going to do a big round cat back. Oh, big round cat back. Like your body is a sail and there is wind blowing at the front of your body. You're going to billow into the back of your body, shoulders low and wide. You could rock your head side to side a couple of times. And then roll your pelvis forward as much as you can to come up, upright in the spine, that uplift feeling again. Use your hands to support you. And then we're going to come on over to the other side. So remember that we started in our little side seat diva, hand on the floor, lifting off of the shoulder. And just stretching around, waving around, exploring. beginning to trust our bodies, beginning to trust our bodies and letting our bodies begin to trust us, that we're going to make good decisions, that we're going to take care of it. Come on down to the forearm now. You can lengthen that top leg if that feels good. Oh, maybe even move that leg a little bit back. And then still reaching, stretching, arm out of leg, leg out of arm. And just knowing that you can follow your own curiosity, your own instincts, and following your body's intelligence. Okay, and then bending that knee, now standing the foot on the floor for Burt Reynolds. Still lifting off of that bottom shoulder. Use that hand to gently press the thigh away and open. So it's kind of like a Baddha Konasana, like a side Baddha Konasana or butterfly, but I'm imagining mostly you feel it in the top inner thigh. Keep your neck happy. You can make any little movements here, and then we're going to turn the leg down. Bottom leg comes up a little bit as you turn toward the floor with your chest. Prop up first on forearms, or even one forearm, so you can be slightly turned toward the floor. A little bit of sway. And rather than letting the head hang, keep the neck long in the line of the spine. And then if it feels right here, you could widen the elbows, come down to a little pillow of the hands. One more exhale. And then we're coming back up to forearms, and then stay in the twist and see how it is to come back up to hands. And again, you could be turning slightly forward. You don't have to be square to that short edge of your mat. Rocking. The further your hands are forward, the easier it will be. So if you want a little more sensation, walk the hands in towards your leg. Okay, and then we're going to come up, turning slowly forward, having a little wiggle, maybe a counter twist. And then spinning around again, feet in front of you, seat on the floor. And we're going to do that big hug again. Either the backs of the legs or over the shins. Rounding the back like a sail, let the shoulders be low and wide. So you're kind of like a little cannonball here. You're really tucked into a seed, and you can make that seed as small as you want. So if you wanted to bring the heels in, even closer to the seat, you could do that. Really just depends on your proportions and what feels good right now. And then releasing. Let's stretch the legs forward and let the legs be a little bit, not right together. And then just lean back and flop, 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 floppy fish. You could circle the ankles. Flop, flop, rolling in the hip sockets. Okay, and then get your seat prop again, your little perch. Come up onto that. Back into your crossed legs. And let's circle the wrists again, wiggly fingers, circling the wrists, loosening the neck. Other direction. And then take your arms up, interlace your fingers. Interlace them one finger the weird way, slightly left of center. And then hands come behind the head, elbows forward. Let's do our neck alignment again. So sometimes when we take the head back, we pop the front ribs forward. So that's why we're going to round forward just slightly. It's really subtle. And then elbows forward, start to press the back of your head into your hands with a little bit of chin tuck. And slowly, slowly let that bring the spine and the head back up. Just enough press that you feel that connection of your neck all the way down the sides of your spine. And then keep that alignment. Gradually let the pressure, the press go. Arms come down. Little bit of everything today. Great way to start the day. This would be a perfect time to take a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in Shavasana. You could also just take a moment here, feel the integration, if there are any other little movements you want to make, and then go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for taking a stretch break, and I'll see you next time.